Chair, assuming we've now gone into debate without proposing a motion and going through the proper procedure for yet another time, I will assume we're in debate at the moment and would like to raise a couple of points. The first absolutely is governance. We said it last night. The Labour Party just don't seem to be providing any balance and checks. But we've got these cross-party working parties, and things aren't properly checked and balanced if we haven't got a decent amount of scrutiny. So I'm going to have to ask Labour again to give me their space on some of these when we do allow us to have some scrutiny, because we've just not got any scrutiny, and it's not entirely your fault. But we do need cross-party to mean cross-party. Going into some of the details, I'm really disappointed the health centre seems to have disappeared. We've got the Newtown Centre that is always booked out by people having their blood tested, having all sorts of mental health, all sorts of great stuff, health related, is clogging up the Newtown Centre, and we desperately need more capacity for health stuff in the town centre as the population grows older and we've got more need for vaccination, all sorts of stuff. And it was on the maps, we'd have a health centre in the town centre, Abbey Street development. Absolutely essential we have one somewhere in the town centre, and it needs to be at the edge of the development, because the people who go to health centres need dropping off in cars and all this sort of stuff, or being next to the bus stop. So it was in the wrong place, but the health centre element is something we really need not to be lost from either this development site, or if it gets moved to one of the other, the Bridge to Living or the Vicarage Street. But absolutely key we get the health centre in. Secondly, on the actual detail of it, the EV charging hubs. We're desperate for EV charging for a lot of the residents who are fortunate enough to be converting to EV, but there's virtually nowhere that works. I think there's one charging point outside the council house. The ones at the back are mostly broken. And if Warwickshire is really pushing, and Coventry, to go towards EV, we need to have those EV things on a relatively early delivery on this. And I'm absolutely horrified to learn that we're paying to build a cinema. We shouldn't have paid to build the hotel at entirely our own risk. A cinema operator can come in, if they're just leasing it, they can go broke within a year with all the Netflix, all the changes. To actually have the council owning a cinema as a building and then taking 100% of the financial risk of the cost of building it is an absolutely suicidal thing to do. At least the hotel, we all disagree, I think they're building it too big, but if it gets some empty rooms, it might lose £100,000 a year rather than gain £100,000. You have a cinema you've paid to build, and the cinema industry goes pear-shaped, which it's very well likely to do. You've ended up with a massive 30-year mortgage paying on a building that we own. Well, there's no way we should be taking the risk on some of these things. We should be at least sharing the risk 50-50 with an operator, so at least there's someone else's money in the game. To build a cinema at our risk with our council taxpayers' money is suicidally stupid. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Dawn, could you help us regards the health centre, etc., which Councillor Condacor has raised?
Yes, I can, Chair. Those discussions remain ongoing. We are pushing those hard. What we can't do as the Borough Council is force GPs or the NHS to locate their services within a single building. There are some complexities with the GP provision and how their business models are currently established, because they are in effect businesses as GPs. So there is an awful lot of work to work with the health service, the commissioning bodies, to come up with a solution that will make sense to GPs. We can't force them to come into the town centre to form a health centre. So and also it has to be remembered that the NHS have slightly different priorities, and we have to work out and get in step with them to get them on side. They are notoriously difficult collaborations to put together. We maintain those discussions. We are still taking it forward. It unfortunately will not be something that would be delivered within the next 12 months because of all of those complexities.
Okay.